This video causes you because I'm all for the whole thing. Yeah?
Good night, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? How are you guys doing? This episode of the Digital Age, we have an amazing guest. We're gonna have some real fun tonight. Tonight's episode is about Wipay, using the tools, breaking down what it is, how it can help you, how Wipay is empowering entrepreneurs like you and myself and entrepreneurship. But first, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You are live with the Digital Age, and I am your host, Keron Rose. Tonight's guest, man, I can't wait to bring him in. I can't wait to bring him in. Let me know if you guys are in the building tonight. Let me know where you guys are from in the chats. Let me know. I want to see the flags. Let me know what country you guys are watching the show from. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me. So before we bring in the guests, let's drop the intro. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? Let me know if you guys are ready. Let me know if you guys are ready for me to bring in tonight's guest. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the Digital Age show the CEO of Wipay, Mr. Aldwyn Wayne. Aldwyn, what's going on tonight, bro?
What's happening, Keron?
I just wanna thank you. I just want to thank you for, jumping on the show. I know you are one of the busiest men in the entire Caribbean right now, and I know this is not something that you particularly been doing since COVID has started. So I just want to thank you, and from myself and from the people tuning in, for you taking the time out to jump in on the show.
No problem, man. You got it. My pleasure.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. So, before we get started, let me just cue everything up. So you guys already have an idea of how we work, right? Aldwyn's another one of those guys where if you sit down with Aldwyn, you will spend the next half of your day just talking about some of the craziest things, right? And he's such an enigmatic character that, the conversations with him are always so enlightening and always so fun. And it's a conversation that I've wanted to have with you guys for a little while now. I wanted to show you guys, what Wipay is, some of the back end of what it does. And in a time like this, during COVID, there's been no bigger entrepreneur coming out of the Caribbean than him. So I really wanted to have this conversation. So this is what we're going to be getting into tonight. All right, you guys already know by now. You guys have the breakdown. You guys see it. So let's get into it. So we're going to be talking about the world of Wipay. Then we're going to be diving into entrepreneurship in the digital age. And then I'm going to open the floor up for a Q&A session at the end of the program. All right? So Aldwyn, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's cue up the timer. All right. So, you guys know the drill. We got 20 minutes. So, Aldwyn, how things are you, bro? First of all, how's COVID been treating you?
COVID. I mean, it's good and bad. For business, I think it provided the catalyst that the Caribbean needed to move online, So with everyone being at home, COVID, put what effort that the general business community needed to move their businesses online. So From a
Right.
business aspect, COVID, is treating us fine.
Yeah.
But I am a citizen, of the Caribbean, and not being able to see my beautiful people around the Caribbean like I normally do, is taking a toll on me. So it's good and bad, if that makes sense.
No, it most definitely does. And I mean, we're trying to make the best out of this situation. And one of the silver linings is that COVID has forced the digital revolution that has needed to happen in the Caribbean for a long time. And you guys are right at the center of so many amazing things with it, you know?
For sure.
So one of the questions that pops up to this day, all right? And I want to get it right from the horse's mouth. Tell us, what is Wipay? Break down what is Wipay.
Okay. So WePay is an enablement platform. So the Caribbean has always been using foreign services, once it comes to technology. You know, you will go online and you see, the likes of Stripe and PayPal, and to use those products in the Caribbean, is bad for us, but that's all we had.
Right.
So what we did at WePay was build a solution, a platform that allow businesses, from entrepreneurs all the way up to, governments and state entities to now get online with a click of a button. So you don't need to go to a bank and open a bank account and a merchant account, spend 5 days, time with the developer. You could just download a plugin and integrate it to your website and start accepting payments immediately.
Right.
So WePay is that payment enablement platform,
Okay.
a
So
payment
what would
gateway.
you say is the core problem you are trying to solve with WePay? What is WePay's core problem you guys are trying to solve?
Inclusion. So I
Talk about you can't mention the word inclusion and not dive into inclusion. Break it down for us.
yeah. Like yourself, I have been an entrepreneur since I graduated from college. I came back. All I've known is doing my own thing.
Right.
Building my own business, and and for most entrepreneurs in the Caribbean, it's always difficult to cross that first hurdle. How do I get paid for my services? How do I get my business up and running? When it's difficult to have a conversation with the bank. You go into a bank to open an account and they want 1 year of audited financials.
Right.
I'm gonna have a year of audited financials if I'm now starting my business.
Right.
So we, at WePay wanted to find a way to give everyone, the opportunity to generate wealth or generate business for themselves.
Right.
And technology, as I always say, is the greatest enabler. So we use technology to get a product to those people that want to start their own businesses without having the overhead of going through the process of a banking system or that legacy onboarding process with traditional payment methods.
Right.
So what we're trying to solve, that's what WePay is about, giving everyone the opportunity, whether you rich, poor, indifferent, you have the same opportunity to start a business and get paid for your services.
And with everything happening across the Caribbean, how crucial is solving inclusion for us to really excel in the Caribbean space?
I mean, it's priority number one. I mean, if you look at it, right, um, you go into business to make money, and if you can't have your money reach to you, then you're not in business.
Right.
So before you start a business, you need to find or make sure that for the service or product that you provide, you can get paid for it. And if your product and service that you provide is international, how are you going to get paid for it if you don't have a mechanism to get paid?
Right.
And that's the biggest hurdle most entrepreneurs and businesses in the Caribbean have. they have a product, we have a solution, we have a service, but getting paid for it was always the challenge.
Right.
So everyone that thinks that they could sell something or they could sell a service, if they can't get paid for it, then they don't have a business. So
Right.
for the entrepreneur, the young business person, the upstart, priority number one is getting paid, and that's why we founded Wipay, to make sure that we give you that option.
Right. So I'll play devil's advocate. Now, we have a lot of people that will say, well, why should we bother using Wipay, a local provider, when we have PayPal? PayPal is internationally known. Everybody around the world is accustomed with it. The brand is there. The brand is big. There's no second guessing when you have to use a platform like PayPal. So why would somebody need to use, or why should we be using something like Wipay when PayPal's been around for a long time and we could be using that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. To be quite honest, we looked at PayPal and looked at the problems that they had, they have for this region, and we built a solution around that.
Right.
So to be quite honest, PayPal is the benchmark that Wipay, was built on, the standard that we wanted to emulate.
Right.
Now the problem PayPal has is two problems. First off, it's not from the Caribbean, it's not from the region.
Right.
So the service that's being provided actually is a cross-border service, right?
Mm-hmm.
We process monies in Trinidad in our currency, TT dollars. So if I am using a service that's not from Trinidad, I am actually taking TT dollars, converting it into US dollars, or whatever country the service provider is in,
Right.
send it out to make a local payment. So if I want to pay you right now, Keron,
Right.
you have PayPal on your website.
Mm-hmm.
And I take my credit card out.
Right.
The bank that issued me the credit card needs to pay PayPal US dollars. So that means they have to convert the TT that I have in my account
Right.
to US dollars to send to PayPal, then give you TT dollars. So essentially, you lost, I lost because of the conversion.
Right.
And then the country lost because we just, leaked Forex out for a service that should be completed or should have been completed in our local currency. And that happens in every island.
Right.
We are literally using a service that's killing us, right? By using that foreign service, we are sending much needed Forex dollars outside for everyday services that could have been done
Right here.
in our currency. So why use PayPal is the question should be, why should we be using PayPal?
Right.
Because we need that Forex for much needed services like, the stuff that you see in the grocery store, that Philly cheese that you like to buy,
Right.
or that Canadian sausage that you like. The grocery stores need that US dollars to purchase that goods from Canada.
Right.
And they have to get that US from the central bank.
Right.
Now, if our general consumption uses US dollars just to pay each other locally by using PayPal, we are putting a stranglehold on the amount of Forex the central bank could give to us and give to the grocery stores. And that's a big problem. And that's something as a population we need to understand. And as Wipay, that's what we are fixing. And once people start understanding, listen, at the end of the PayPal, Wipay take you the same processor.
Right.
It's going to be MasterCard or Visa card. The only advantage that we provide is that we do it in TT dollars.
Right. So we get
And
to
that's
save on the right. So to really drive that point home, I have a video about PayPal and the issue that PayPal poses to the Caribbean. So I want to run that video right now. So let's dive into that because again, this is such a key issue in this space that I want everybody to really understand it. So I'm going to run this video.
This may come as a shock, but using PayPal is really, really bad for Caribbean economies. Let's take Trinidad and Tobago for example. Using PayPal on your website means all the transactions are conducted in US dollars, which means someone in Trinidad making a payment to your website would require customers to pay PayPal in US dollars, using up the customer's US dollar limits on their card. Your site inevitably would also be contributing to the country's massive Forex leakage problem. Credit cards are now the #1 consumption of Forex as per the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago report published in June 2020. PayPal is also not future-proof in Trinidad. With the introduction of Link's Visa debit cards by all local banks, websites that use PayPal would not be compatible with the new local Visa debit card. Debit cards currently make up more than 80% of the cards on the market. So, what's the alternative? There are two options. Any local bank can help set up your e-commerce site, which would process in the local currency. It would come at a cost and some time to integrate. Or you can use Wipay, which is free to use and, like PayPal, has a bunch of cool payment features that also settles in local currency. So, if you want to build a future-proof e-commerce business as well as save the country's much-needed Forex, use a local service provider.
So Wayne, that
Just FYI.
that oh yes, because we're on the stream together. But don't worry, right? So that video broke down pretty much essentially what you were just talking about, right? With using PayPal and it straining the Forex reserves. Now, in that video, they broke down something else that I want to touch on, which is the Link's Visa debit cards. So we know that there are three keys for, I guess, e-commerce for businesses. It's really one, having your consumers with a mechanism to pay you, i.e. of either a Visa debit or a credit card. Two, a payment processor, and three, an e-commerce platform, right? Now that the banks are rolling out the Link's Visa debit cards, how important is that Link's Visa debit card in the grand scheme of things, especially when you pair it up with a Wipay or one of the bank solutions? How important is that Link's Visa debit card?
I mean, it's tremendously important. So I'm gonna say this now, and I hope that it resonates with everyone who is trying to provide solutions to the Caribbean and Trinidad, to be exact. With the mandate by the network providers, Visa, MasterCard, that all card holders or all institutions that's part of their network have all their cards EMV, that's the little chip on the card. It means every bank card that we have in Trinidad is going to have that chip on it.
Right.
So in Trinidad, Links, they went with Visa to add that chip on their card. So this is why every Links card in Trinidad and Tobago is now going to be a Visa debit card.
Right.
It's going to have the chip on there. The problem is most people would think once they see that Visa logo, they can now go shop online.
Right.
But based on what we were talking about, these cards are still denominated in TT dollars.
Right.
So you cannot take that Visa debit card and go and shop online because the currency on that card is TT dollars. That Links card that's tied to your bank account is still Trinidad and Tobago dollars.
Right.
So you cannot go to Amazon and spend money because Amazon is not going to take Trinidad and Tobago dollars.
Right.
So bring it back down to using PayPal. If you have PayPal or a payment gateway that processes in US dollars, you essentially is going to lock out 80% of your customer base because that Links card that's now have Visa on the front of it cannot work on your website because it processes in US dollars. So now you're going to have a frustrated customer base if you're starting a business and you're using a gateway that's US dollars. So that's PayPal, Stripe, anyone that processes or any gateway or payment gateway or aggregator that processes in US dollars,
Right.
you're going to have a frustrated customer base because in their minds, they see Visa and a 16-digit number on the front of it. So they
Right.
think that they could, use that online.
And
And the
it's not the
second they put
case.
it in on your website and they have a failed transaction, you're going to have a very frustrated customer.
Yeah.
But WePay being local, we can process that card, that links card, because we process in TT dollars.
Right.
So if you're thinking about starting this business, if you're thinking about, going e-commerce, make sure, if you're Trinidad at least, that gateway is a local gateway.
Right.
And that's either WePay or one of the local banks.
And then
Because
having
you're
that links card. Yeah.
a lot of customers coming to your site and having a failed transaction because the denomination of how the card has the money on there is going to be TT dollars compared
Right.
to what is needed for a US gateway.
Gotcha. All right, so I want to switch gears a little bit, right? We've had questions about how to get started with Wipay. So what I want to do is I got 2 videos for you guys to show you. I got a video on the sign up process. I got links in Wipay, yo. I got links.
Man.
So we got a video on the sign up process, so you guys can see exactly how to sign up for the Wipay service, and then we also have a video on how the invoicing feature set of Wipay works. So let me show you guys those 2 videos, and then we'll wrap up the world of Wipay section. All right. So let's check out the sign up process for Wipay.
To sign up for a Wipay account, select the Sign Up button on the top right-hand side of the screen. Here, you can select your account type, whether business or personal. Enter your first name, select Next. Enter your last name, select Next. Enter your date of birth, year, followed by the month, followed by the date. Awesome. What's your email address? We'll send you a confirmation email and you'll use it later on to log in. What's your phone number? Select a password. This usually contains at least 8 characters. Can you remember your password? Enter it now. Congratulations, you have now signed up for a Wipay account.
So, if you guys are looking to sign up with Wipay, that is the process of how to get started. And Aldwyn, what?
Hey man, you need to give me like a 5-second count. I've been in all right? I took your little video as my, cue to get dinner. So you need to let me know when we're back on camera, dude.
Buzz, I'm here waving at you. Oh Lord. So we have one more video, right? And this video is going to be on sending the invoice. All right. So give me 1 second. we're going to run the invoicing video so you guys can see if you guys want to send a digital invoice to somebody and have them use their links, Visa, debit cards to pay you or their credit cards to pay you. This is how that feature works. And the beautiful thing about the invoicing feature is that you can send it to anybody, anywhere in the world. Anybody globally will be able to pay you via this Wipay invoicing feature, right? So let's take a look at how that feature works.
Sending an invoice. To send an invoice, go to Request Payment. Here you can customize your invoice by entering an invoice number, a VAT number. You can also change the color selection and your logo. Enter the amount to be invoiced. Select who pays and absorbs the fee. Enter your invoice details. Give your customer a brief description of what they are being invoiced for. Select Next. Send your invoice via social media or email.
All right, so that's the invoicing feature. So Aldwyn, what would you say are just as we wrap this up, what would you say are the two core features for Wipay that entrepreneurs can use?
Well, like I said, our core feature is processing payments online.
Right.
So we have invoice, we have WordPress, Magento. We're launching Shopify on Monday for all you Shopify heads out there. Our business is just getting you paid, man. So that invoice option,
Yeah.
that website integration is still the same thing. We're getting you paid, and that's our business. Our core business is getting you paid. All right. I wasn't gonna say, but I'm gonna say, we're gonna launch Wipay Me, which literally gives you, Keron, your own URL. So it's gonna be Wipay Me / Keron Rose. You could give that to anybody, and then they could pay you. So there's no invoice needed. There's nothing needed beyond that bit. All that solutions that we provide brings you back to that same point of getting paid. So if you're trying to figure out what Wipay does, what our product is, it's just to get you paid, and that's it.
See, you see, folks, that's what I like. I think we can all rally behind that. Getting you paid. So, we are concluding the World of Wipay segment. And we're going to cut to a quick break. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsors because, as you guys know, your boy got to pay some bills and they make a lot of this stuff happen. So, big shout outs and thank yous to Eastern Credit Union for jumping on board. Big shout outs to Buzz Media and Flow. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. And after that, we're going to get into entrepreneurship in the digital age.
Stay connected and entertained with broadband bundles designed for you. With Flow starter and advanced plans, you can enjoy faster speeds to stream more of what you love. Get free access to the best shows, series, and movies with HBO Go, and connectivity on the go with free Flow Wi-Fi. Packages start from as low as $295 and no contract required. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow, keeping you connected.
So, How are you guys doing tonight? How are you guys feeling tonight? Let me know in the comments below if what we were just talking about with Wipay, if it made sense, if you guys are excited to use it, if you are already using Wipay, how you guys are enjoying it. All right? Let me know in the comments. You guys know what I like. Give me the likes, the hearts, the shares. Let me just take a quick look and see who's in the chat tonight. Celise, have a good night. How are you doing? We got Caribbean Steel Pan Connection. How are you doing tonight? We got Keisha Lewis in the building. Keisha, how are you doing? And we have Christabel Brown. How are you doing tonight? It's so good to see all of you guys here, enjoying this session with me, trying to learn how we can build inside a digital age and, learn about the tools that we need for us to succeed. Wipay plays such a big role in that. So, what I want to get into now is, now that we've talked about, what Wipay does, what it is, what their core features are, and, how they work with you, getting you paid, I want us to dive into the world of entrepreneurship with Aldwyn, okay? So, we're going to bring Aldwyn back out, and we're going to dive into entrepreneurship because it is, listen, entrepreneurship is such a pivotal thing right now. Being able to rely on your own efforts to generate your own money. We have so many people who have lost jobs during COVID that right now, you got to learn how to generate your own money, right? So, I want to talk to Aldwyn about the entrepreneurship because he's one of the most successful people in the Caribbean to do it in the digital age, all right? So, Aldwyn.
Hey, am I live?
Yes, we back. All right.
10 minutes.
No, it's 10 seconds. You see, this is the beauty with Aldwyn. Aldwyn is literally between working right now, jumped in to do this session, and still has to go back and work. And when you are one of the most important,
I'm
what?
gonna cut you right now.
Let me hear.
It's at 8:36.
Yeah.
I have a presentation tomorrow with the regulators. I'm gonna say regulators because they hate when I call their name. So you know who my regulators are.
Yeah.
I have a presentation for your rebel card, Keron.
Wait. At
8:36. Make sure that I present the best presentation to the regulators tomorrow so I can get this rebel card out to you, Keron Rose.
Hold on. I wasn't going to go there. I was not going to go there just yet. Don't tell me we having a rebel. I want rebel. We need rebel. Rebels coming?
That's what I'm doing here, my good man. I am here working on my presentation for the regulator tomorrow so that they could finally say, put it out to the people.
Right. All right. Okay. All right.
Said he needs 5 seconds, Keron.
All right. So we're going to give Shannon 5 seconds. You guys fix up. All right. So I'm going to talk to you guys real quick. So basically, with everything happening, right? One of the biggest issues that we have is not having our own tools. So whether and one of the reasons why we have to be patient with the companies and the entrepreneurs that are building solutions to help us is that we're not going to get it right. Keep in mind, companies like a PayPal and Stripe have had donkey years to perfect their product and get their stuff right, and it still doesn't work the way that it should in the Caribbean, right? So even though Wipay's here and we run in they're doing the best that they can. I've had some amazing service with them, and I know many of you guys have had amazing service with them as well. But any issues that we have with any of our local companies, just keep in mind to bear with them. It's a teething process. They're working hard to figure everything out. We are really in uncharted waters within the Caribbean space, but I'm always hopeful, and I remain hopeful because I'm seeing the progress. And every time I talk to Aldwyn, there's always something cooking. There's always something, a challenge that they have finally overcome, you know? So, Aldwyn, let me know if you're ready to jump back on. Wonderful. All right. Let's bring Aldwyn back.
Now remember, I told you, you got me.
All right.
I have work doing, and because it's you, Karen, I did this. So
All right. I thank you.
You know, once I got my work going, I have some, buddies that normally come out and we drink, not drink, sorry. We have coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah.
Right? It helps me focus at like 8:30 at night. So I have a buddy
I
of
hear
mine,
you.
he's an entrepreneur. You might know him. Bring your ass over here, man. Go ahead. You might know this dude. He's an entrepreneur himself.
All right, let's see.
He has this little company called Tech Beach.
Hey! Yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know who that is, Kyle Maloney of Tech Beach. Kyle, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, man, happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me, buddy.
I didn't invite you. It's like perfect invite.
Listen, Kyle's the man behind Chef Made Me and Tech Beach, and Kyle's doing some amazing things. So between, go ahead.
Kyle is here for the food. That's what we're doing over here.
I love it. I love it. So, Aldwyn, I want to dive into entrepreneurship in the digital age, right? Kyle, you staying with us?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a 15 to 20.
All right, cool, good. All right, so you guys just squeeze in so we can see you guys both. All right. So let's start the timer. Let us start
so high though.
the timer, and we are. All right, we're good. So, what I want to know, right, is why is it so important in today's space to be an entrepreneur or have an entrepreneur mindset?
That's it?
That's the question.
That's what we're starting. That's what we got to warm up into. We got to warm up into it. So that's what we're starting.
I think this COVID situation, where I think this really drove home the mindset of thinking about how can I start my own business, how can I start my own side hustle, how can I get something going that I have some level of control over. So many thousands of people lose jobs across the world, so many thousands of people lose jobs right here in Trinidad. I think this situation really drove home for a lot of people that having that one source of income and just depending solely on your one single job, if and when the time comes and it's gone, that's it,
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to Kai's point, that's, to me, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I grew up in a family that, we always owned our own. And, I always felt that was important, yeah? Leaving Trinidad, going into, college and coming back home, it always felt right that, entrepreneuring was what I was supposed to do.
Right.
And as much as I can, I'm trying to help as much people who think that they have that same path, So for me, I don't see this as something that is, Aldwyn Wayne. I've done this. I've started a cable company. I've started a internet company. We've had fun doing a lot of things. But what I'm trying to do is, in my mind, help other people see that once you put effort into something that you love, the sky's the limit. And
Right.
entrepreneur is more than just that word, that buzzword that people use to say you're working for yourself.
Right.
You know, it's way more than that. It's helping others. It's helping, people that has that same passion in what they do, to make something of themselves, to create wealth for themselves, to create a business for themselves. And to me, that's what's important. And that's why, I'm here at 8:30, making sure that I get this rebel card out to the people, because this provides inclusion, this provides opportunity, this provides for people that live in Beetham and lives in Laventille, to have a financial tool that gives them the opportunity to do business online, to receive payments online, so that they can create a solution that empowers themselves. And that's what's the main thing for me.
So you guys both make some really good points, and to kind of piggyback off of Alden's last point, when we talk about people in marginalized areas, one of the toughest ways for us, one of the toughest things is really getting started. I mean, there's so much that goes into getting started. When people think about starting a business, the first hurdle that comes to everybody's mind is, well, how can I start a business if I have no capital? And if you're talking about people in areas where they're in the marginalized areas, if you don't have the bare minimum to get started, what are some tips that you guys could give us for getting started in the digital age? I mean, if there's one thing that I've learned is, if I wanted to start a business that was, I guess, really cap intensive to start, obviously I'd have to look for funding, and it's extremely difficult to get it. But because of being in the digital space, for me personally, I was able to learn skills, whether it be through just reading forums, YouTube, books, and apply my trade really quickly and learn in the process. And I was able to learn and earn. But you guys are two of the most successful entrepreneurs. So give us some tips on how to get started, and how do we get started with as bare minimum as possible, keeping in mind that maybe not everybody has access to funding or has access to the who's who, so that they can really tap into. How can we get started?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story. So, for Chef Made,
Yeah.
we had the idea for over a year. My sister is a chef, and she's doing a lot of catering and that sort of thing for quite some time. Right? And we had this idea for over a year. We spent all that time just planning and thinking about how we're going to execute and that sort of thing, and largely couldn't execute or begin because we didn't have the initial capital to begin. The initial capital outlay to put out to get kitchen, the equipment is just really expensive, etc. Right? And so we spent a lot of that time just speaking to people about the idea that we had, speaking about the plans, and just really refining our go-to-market approach and our understanding of how we wanted to scale and the vision that we had for the business.
Right.
And in multiple casual conversations that we had, one of them eventually sparked, whereby we ended up having a kitchen partner that basically gave us access to their kitchen during their non-peak time cooking hours, and that gave us our start.
Wow.
And so we literally started with the capital that we had was to purchase the groceries, the raw materials to get things going, and we eventually got that kitchen partner. I said all that to say is about being prepared and creating that level of preparedness and refining your plan and your vision and that sort of thing to that point whereby preparedness meets opportunity. You're never going to have all the pieces to the puzzle, And, but what you are going to have is the tenacity to build the vision that you have for your business and the understanding for where you want to go and how you believe that this is going to be achieved. And the pieces, a rolling stone will gather no more. So the pieces will eventually come together for you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, to Kai's point, I have a number of people asking, hey, we see that you have XYZ as business partners, you guys have millions of dollars in investment. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We started with that MVP model.
Yeah.
You know, the minimal viable product. Wipay just worked, you know, and you know, I was out there hustling. I'm from the '90s, so I'll be like, you know, Master P from the trunk of my car selling CDs. I'm out there hustling Wipay. Hey, man, you want to go online? I got you, you know. And you know, and that's what it is. You know, I mean, you know, a lot of people see, these, success overnight stories and think, you know, you have an idea and someone's supposed to fund it. No.
Right.
You know, put it out there. Whatever your product is, put it out there. You hustle your product. You know, and once you start, you know, providing a service that, you know, people see that's needed, the investment will come. I mean, Keron, I'm not going to put our business out there.
Yeah.
But, I was your first interview. You know, when you transition from, you know, that whole telephone bit to what you're doing now. I remember it was downstairs in the little box. Remember? In the pink, right? But that's the thing. Did I pay you? Did you have a sponsor? No, we were just out there doing what you had to do, interviewing, you know, someone, and hoping that, you know, it would get picked up. And now look at you. You know, it's picked up. You have what, 3 sponsors? You know, I'm not getting paid for this. Are you paying me for this? No.
I got you after, man. I got the drinks are coming. I got you after.
But that's the thing. That's the point.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at every successful business or every successful entrepreneur, Kyle spoke to it just now.
Yeah.
Find that MVP model, man. You don't need to have $1 million sponsor or $100,000. You don't need that. If your product is good, the sponsorship will find you. The investment will find you. You need to start putting your product out there.
Yeah.
And as entrepreneurs, you know, the ones that make it is the ones that take that leap, you know. I went out there with Wipay and I didn't know if anybody, look at me. You know, I don't comb my hair. But, you know, we have over 30,000 people on our platform. Right. And we're processing their money. Yeah. How do you think that happened? Because our platform worked.
Yeah.
Sure. I appreciate it.
You know,
go ahead. It's just that, You know, I didn't sit back and say, you know, I don't have any investors or I don't have enough money. Listen, investors, people with the money needs to see something moving first. So you need to get off the rear end. If you have an idea, go for it. Jump off the deep end. If you can't swim, you'll learn. That product that you believe in is going to make you money if you jump off the deep end. Stop waiting for someone to hold your hand and jump in the pool with you. Do it. And I'm pretty sure if you don't make it, then it probably wasn't a good idea anyway. So it's either or. You do it and you become something, or do it and it fails and you find something else that you're good at, you know. But just do it. You know, don't wait on someone to come in and put money in. You know, that's, you know, entrepreneur and failure, you know, 101. Sit back and wait for someone to big money.
That's such great advice from the two of you, because you see, one of the reasons why nobody likes or thinks to start with a minimum viable product or solution is that nobody wants to be seen starting from the bottom. We see this success. Kyle is out here in Jamaica shaking Jack Dorsey's hand. Aldwyn's flying in and out, sitting in MasterCard's office, relaxing. But people don't see, you know, how the businesses got started. I know for me, when I started, right? So I have my own checkered past, and I've had a lot of issues growing up, and I didn't, like, none of my family's entrepreneurs. They were going to hold my hand or try to believe in what I was doing. For me, when I moved here, I seen a problem. And that problem was, I realized that, you walk into a telecommunications store and the reps are not explaining technology the way that they should. And I know that technology plays such a big part in almost everything that we do, that people need a source to be able to get the information right. Now, I'm nobody. I just moved here. I can't go into any telecommunications place or beg somebody to hook me up to put me onto a CEO to say, hey, I can help. For me, I started with just a blog. And then when it moved from a blog, I saved up enough money to get a store. And then I quickly closed the store down within 6 months because I realized, wait a minute, I was making more money doing content. And I ended up changing my blog into an e-commerce platform, and I learned how to do it. And if you are willing to put yourself in a situation to get uncomfortable and learn some of these skills and tap into the knowledge that we have available to us. I learned how to build websites through YouTube, forums, and I bought a couple of books. That was how I got started, right? So, moving along, I see what's happening, I see what's happening across the Caribbean, and we, in our communities, in the black communities, we are floundering in a sense, and we are constantly. It almost feels like we're looking for that help, right? But how important is inspiring the next generation of black entrepreneurs? How important is that in 2020 with everything that we see going on? How important is entrepreneurship, the route of being able to become self-reliant? How important is that in your guys' eyes right now?
I'm gonna start with this one.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, and we had this conversation, Keron, before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a bit of background. So I went to school in college anyway, in Georgia. And for most Trinidadians, Georgia is a southern state. It's one of those Confederate states that in the mid-90s is when it started getting over a lot of its racist backgrounds. Mm-hmm. So I went to school in a university that I wasn't really fully accepted. Right. So I got first-hand appreciation for being someone of color. Something I knew nothing about growing up in Trinidad. Because I didn't see color in Trinidad. I left Trinidad when I was 17 years old. And I didn't know color. It was straight hair and curly hair. That's about it. Right. It didn't have color. But being out there, I got a better appreciation for the struggle that we go through. Mm-hmm. And coming back home, I had a lot of that weight of, what being black is. And a lot of people in Trinidad, myself included, prior to going to the States, did not understand or do not understand what, as a race or as a people we go through in terms of indoctrination. That to me is something that we need to start addressing. Because I look at a lot of the things that's happening, and you see people talking about, the statues, we need to leave it up, that's our history. That's not our history. That's their history. That's his history. That's the Spanish history. Right. Our history started after when we got here as slaves or indentured laborers. We weren't here on those first 3 ships that got here. So I have no problem with, respecting, what, our country came from. Put that in a museum. Yeah. Our history should be about us. Keron, you grew up in Trinidad or not?
No, I grew up in Canada.
Okay. In Trinidad, I cannot tell you one black hero in any of our textbooks growing up. I cannot tell you one.
That's a fact.
Person within our system.
I mean Eric Williams.
No, Eric Williams, yeah, but guess what? You get taught about him in modern history. Why are you teaching me about people that slaughtered the Amerindians or slaughtered the people that were here before? I don't want to know about that. Fair enough. Tell me, listen, we don't have a history. Who's your great-great-great-grandmother? You don't know. Right? How about you start teaching me about my great-great-grandmother? Yeah. My business partner, I can tell you, he's a Syrian, and I love him to death. I walk in his office, and I see his family tree that goes back 5 and 6 generations.
Right.
He understands his history. Most races understand their history. So they have a sense of pride. The Jews understand their history. The Chinese understand their history. What is our history? Our history was taken from us.
Right.
We got here and, you know, Kyle's real name could have been Umbutu, but they changed it to Kyle. You know, we have no idea what our history is. So we don't have a sense of belonging. And that's big to me. I mean, I'm sorry for getting so deep, you know, in something that's supposed to, you know, talk about just, you know, entrepreneurship. But this is a big problem we have right here in Trinidad, right? We don't understand where we come from. We don't understand where we're going. So obviously, you would see craziness or haphazard behavior because we don't have a sense of belonging.
Right.
And I'm talking about what just happened recently. You know, I'm not condoning violence, but those guys are lost. And it's not their fault because who's providing the education? When you look at our history books, they tell us that, you know, everything that came or everything that was great came from someone that doesn't look like us.
Right.
And that cannot be true. And that's my problem. I'm sorry, Kyle, you go ahead because I'm going to get too deep. I'm going to start tearing. And then I might get a
Kyle, so like, you know, just going back off of everything that we brought up and Wayne just brought up, you know, how important is entrepreneurship in the black community right now?
So, hey, Shannon needs 5 more seconds before you answer Kyle because he's got to change the battery.
All right, no worries. So I'm gonna entertain the guests until you guys switch over. But honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons for me as to why I became an entrepreneur is because we have so many people that are really going through a struggle. They may have made mistakes in the past, and the system doesn't cater much for rehabilitation. You pretty much get penalized for life once you have a past and have made mistakes. Being an entrepreneur for me really meant I no longer seek validation from a system. I no longer have to go to an employer and get validation from them to get a job. Even with my past, I can create my own way now. And that's a freedom that I want more and more entrepreneurs that are living in the marginalized areas to feel. Now, I understand that that's only part of it, right? But it's such a key part, being able to be self-reliant and rely on your own abilities. And when you can't get the help that you want from a system. So let's bring back in Kyle. Kyle. Yeah, so talk to me, man.
All right. I think when you think about Trinidadian history, we have a lot of really amazing people within a multiplicity of sectors, specifically black people, if we're speaking about black history here, right? And so we have a lot of amazing black professionals. We have amazing black economists, we have black doctors, we have black entertainers, you know.
Right.
Within the black community, unfortunately, there isn't a plethora of examples, unfortunately, and where the wealth of the country is lapped up within the business community in reality, and where there is financial strength, there is great power, and so I think it's really important that there are increased examples of persons like myself and Aldwyn demonstrating that of what is possible. Because I think historically as Trinidadians we've done a really good job academically. We have amazing academics and we have amazing sportsmen, we have amazing entertainers, but unfortunately there's a gap as it relates to a wide range of people within the business sector as it relates to the black community. I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends recently, and she's a lawyer and her husband is an engineer. And she was debating with me saying that yes, there are a lot of amazing black people in the country. And she was speaking from her vantage point. And I'm like, but from my vantage point, I don't see a lot of successful black business people. And not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying that that it's very difficult. If I said I wanted to support my community, it's difficult for me to really support my community and keep a dollar in the community. But I know for a fact the other communities actively think about these things and actively keep money within the community, and that is how communities grow and communities gain strength. Yeah,
correct.
And so it's really important for us as a community to be conscious of these things and to develop and grow our own communities. And I'm not seeing it from a vantage point of exclusion and racism. I'm seeing it from a vantage point of empowerment and development and growth, from the perspective that a lot of our youth have not seen this set in this area. And I think it's important that representation matters, that people can see that people like us can actually reach a certain level of success.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And both of you guys make some amazing points. Representation is a must in our community, and both of you guys are leading the way. The things I've seen you guys accomplish over the past couple of years, I have to tip my hats off to you guys. So that rounds up the entrepreneurship segment of the show. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be fielding some questions from the social media feeds and also from the live audience. So stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. Start to drop your questions in the chat right now. Let us know what you guys want to know with respects to Wipay, entrepreneurship. If you have questions for Aldwyn, Kyle, drop it in the feed below, all right? All right. We're coming right back.
Stay connected and entertained with broadband bundles designed for you. With Flow, Starter and Advanced plans, you can enjoy faster speeds to stream more of what you love. Get free access to the best shows, series and movies with HBO Go, and connectivity on the go with free Flow Wi-Fi. Packages start from as low as $295 and no contract required. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow, keeping you connected.
All right, so we're now into the Q&A session, all right? So I want you guys to start to drop your comments, your questions in the feed. Any questions you guys have for Aldwyn, any questions you guys have for Kyle, drop them in, and let's get this started now. So let's take a look. So first off, what we're going to be doing is we have a couple of questions from the social media feed, all right? So before we get started, big shout outs to Eastern Credit Union for making this happen, Buzz Media, Flow. And let us get big shout out to Flo. Let's get this first question off the ground. So this question is brought to us by Eastern Credit Union. All right, so I'm gonna throw it out to both of you guys. How, and this is actually great. How do you deal with worry about business risks as an entrepreneur? How do you deal with the worry about business risks as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, we gotta make sure we stay in COVID.
Yeah.
COVID conditions. Make sure you're sanitizing, washing your hands.
What brand is this?
Oh Lord. So Kyle, you want to go first?
Yeah. So how do you consider the risk? I think is, as entrepreneurs, you're inherently optimistic.
Right.
Because off the bat, you're fighting a battle with a lot less resources, is significantly uphill, and especially when you're beginning, the momentum is not there with you. Right? So that is at that point is the greatest risk. So entrepreneurs tend to be a bit egocentric or cocky from a little bit, right? And the reason for that,
a little bit.
I tell people, is that you had to pump up yourself so much and tell yourself that you is the champ, you are the great, you're the man, You even get your first person following you. You hadn't believed in yourself and hype yourself up so much.
Yeah.
That the happening back there because you know it's true.
Yeah.
You have nobody else believing in you before you believe yourself. So you
Facts.
are your own hype man, right?
Facts.
And you going out there and you see any risk, you see any likelihood, because most businesses fail. So you see any likelihood that there's a strong likelihood that it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
But you hyping yourself up so much, you're gonna just continue to push through those odds
Yeah.
and believe that, listen, we're gonna win, we're gonna make this happen. And to yourself, you know the odds that you're facing.
I love it. You gotta be your own hype man, ladies and gentlemen. Aldwyn, how do you deal with worry, man?
I mean, Chief, I can tell you. I mean, Kyle hit the nail on the head. I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all in my head. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Caribbean by storm, and to be honest, I mean that's the mentality that you need to have. I mean, the mentality plus the work ethic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you definitely need the work ethic. I mean, you can tell I'm still in the office.
Yeah.
You know.
No, you're good.
I've been in this since like 5 o'clock this morning. This
Yeah.
jacket, yeah. So I mean, once you have the work ethic to match that, you know, self-confidence, you know, the risk is part of the game.
Yeah.
So you see the risk, but because the confidence in yourself should be at that point to overcome that risk, that's how you move forward. That's how you move forward, because at the end of the day, it's always going to be that, you know, risk involved with every decision.
Right.
But if you think you could conquer that risk at every given time, like I said, I have a meeting with the regulators tomorrow.
Right.
You know, people they would shrink under that pressure.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. I'm up here at 9 o'clock at night, making sure that I'm ready to go in there to show them that, listen, Rebel is going to be the greatest product ever.
Right.
You know, and that's how I think. You know, it's going to be better than the Apple Card.
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
I love it. I love it. So we're gonna dive into question 2, right?
So, but that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the second you stop believing in yourself, you might as well go pick up a 9 to 5. You know,
And that's it.
You might as well go work for a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, you got to believe that what you're doing is going to make you be what you want to be. You know, it's going
Right.
to get you to that point. And the second an entrepreneur no longer believes in themselves,
That's it.
you know, that's it. You better.
You don't got a dog in the race.
Exactly. So to Kyle's point, yeah, you got to be your own hype man.
I could just imagine Kyle just running up the steps doing the Rocky cheer. So, question number 2. This is brought to us by Flo. What was the idea behind the development of Wipay, and what made you pursue the idea?
You want the politically correct answer?
No. This ain't the politically correct show.
Okay. So I got back home from college,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, hell, you know, the future is online payments.
Right.
You know, there's Amazon that's taking off, eBay taking off, you know, all these things that's taking off. And the reason why we don't have this same type of success in the Caribbean is because there's no payment solution that would give any of these businesses the opportunity to take off.
Right.
So, being the entrepreneur, being the hype man, I'm like, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, but the bank should do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but you're better than the bank. Like, damn right I'm better than the bank. So I created Wipay, or we created Wipay, because trust me, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Now, like, shout out all my developers. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we have over 50 developers. We have 37 active, but everyone who came and moved on to greater things, it's way over 50. I thank them all because they brought Wipay to where it is. But what we do, or WePay is, why it was created, is to fill that gap. It's to fill that gap that everywhere in the world, every region, you look at the United States, you look at Europe, you look at Africa, you look at Asia, you look at South America, there have been tremendous growth in technology and online solutions, but the Caribbean has been left behind because they had no way to receive or make payments.
Right.
And that opportunity was too big for someone with my ego to not take.
Yo, I gotta ask, Kyle, what made you start Tech Beach? What went into Tech Beach? You gotta give us that story.
Well. You want the politically correct answer?
Some more coffee.
We need the real thing. Yeah, you get that coffee. You give us the real thing. Why did you start Tech Beach?
We started Tech Beach because most people would have known me initially for a company that I started together with my closest friends.
Right.
Keep this close to me. Called First.
Right.
So we started Tech Beach because of the big, unfortunate outcome of First, which was my biggest failure to date, right? And so Tech Beach was born. Tech Beach was born to tackle the problem of the lack of startup technology ecosystem in the region.
Right.
Because First was operating in an environment that didn't have the support of, didn't have early stage investors and mentors and accelerate education programs. And just an overarching environment that was enabling to a company like that to succeed. And Tech Beach was born really to say, listen, how can we bring some of these pieces that are over in Silicon Valley, over in New York, over in London, over in some of these more developed technology hubs of the world, and bring them to the region and have them begin seeing, asking the question, how can they begin adding value to our side of the world, our little small corner of the planet?
Yeah.
And fast forward 5 years later,
wow.
We've attracted, like I said, the likes of the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. We have partnerships with Google, Facebook, Twitter. So
Wipay was on that.
We've attracted big boys like Wipay. So thank you. Yeah. So I mean, we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Man, your COVID needs to hurry up and pass. We need Tech Beach this year. We need it in some form or fashion.
Sure.
Yeah. For sure. But we have a pretty big announcement coming soon, within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Just got a press release sent to me to vet.
Yeah.
And put in my quote on it. And I'm excited about the announcement that is going to be coming pretty soon with Tech Beach.
We will be patiently waiting. What
is it about?
I mean, we'll have to do a whole interview on it. Keron, schedule me in there.
Yeah. No, we'll get that exclusive, folks. We will get that exclusive. We'll give Kyle his own dedicated time for that. So, all right, I want to take some questions from the live audience, all right? So, first question comes from Caribbean Steel Pan Connection. How does Wipay work for How does Wipay work for crowdfunding, if at all?
I see you drinking some of the coffee we drinking.
It's actually juice. It's juice.
Well, ours is actually vodka and coconut water.
I am in this happy. I know.
Yes, crowdfunding. Does it work with crowdfunding?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we actually have a crowdfunding platform called We Fund You, and we power one of the crowdfunding platform. I'm not too sure what it is. What's the name right now? But we have two crowdfunding platforms that utilizes Wipay's processing.
Right.
How it works, essentially, we are a payment aggregator.
Right.
I think we're the only one in the Caribbean.
Right.
So it allows us to aggregate funds through a single account. So it allows companies that are doing crowdfunding to utilize our service and our payment aggregator relationship with the processor to provide a crowdfunding solution
Right.
in Trinidad or Jamaica or wherever we exist. St.
Okay.
Lucia, Guyana, Barbados.
All right. Next question comes from Lydia Rulo. How would you combat skepticism about digital payment solutions? And this is something that both of you guys can speak to, because I know Kyle with Chef Made Me, you guys take online payments. So you can speak to that as well. So both of you guys, give us a take on how can you combat skepticism about digital payment solutions?
I mean, we're in the Caribbean. So what I can tell you is it's a new space. True story, I had a conversation with one of my managers in Jamaica, and he did an interview for a compliance officer, right? Not a compliance officer, I'm sorry, a marketing officer.
Right.
They're like, we have 25 years experience. I'm like, well, then we don't need you. Because this space that we're in is like 4 years old. So I'm not too sure what that 25 years experience is.
Yeah.
But the space that we're in is 5-10 years old in the Caribbean. So to answer your question, that's the very nature of the space that we're in, and our entire job, right? Wipay's process, Wipay's solution is something that's needed. You need this as a business to move forward. You need to take your business online.
Yeah.
But 95% of our marketing spend or what we do is to combat that, inner need to resist change. Because it is change. It is change from the normal. It is change from what you're accustomed to. So we understand that at Wipay. So our intention is to spend 90% of our time educating, explaining, talking to people like you, Keron, who have an audience, to let them know why it's important to process with a local rather than processing with a company out of the United States or out of the UK for Forex reasons.
Yeah.
That's what this business is for us at Wipay,
Right.
That bringing acceptance to this new age,
I love it. Kyle, how, with Chef Made Me, man, how do you go about fighting skepticism? Because, I mean, you have an e-commerce platform. I'm sure there's people that are like, I don't want to swipe a card online. I could meet you on the corner with some cash.
No, fact. Cash is still about 40 to 50% of our business.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I think the number has been gradually increasing as we continue to demonstrate that we're a trustworthy platform that continues to deliver. So the only way to gain trust is to consistently deliver week on week, month on month, year on year, and tell those stories of the success. So it's important to share the testimonials of people executing on the platform, doing well, and getting the good service that your business is promising to people. That's the only way to build that trust is earned. It's like going and dating somebody.
Right.
You build trust over time. Yeah. You don't go one day and say, well, I ready to marry you. You had to go a little bit. That's what I said. You can't just one day say you're ready to marry, which is the same thing. You can't just up to one day build up your site and say you're ready to take people money. You gotta wine and dine a little bit. You gotta take the time. You can't short circuit the process.
That's a fact.
And listen, Keron, Kyle just made a very important point that I want to jump in.
Right.
This is outside of the question, and this is just for entrepreneurs there.
Yeah.
Short circuit. Look, hang on. Let me take a second. Short circuiting the process is why 98% of entrepreneurs fail. They want to go from
You want that statistic?
Yeah, I do.
Send me that.
Wow.
I could actually send you. I could tell you what it is. This dude called Vusu. I forgot his name. Whatever. the reason why you fail is that you skip the steps, right? You need to start off from that first step of understanding your business,
Yeah.
then understanding every part of your business, then hiring people to do what you do in your business,
Right.
and then moving to the point where you manage the people that manage your business,
Right.
right? So that's the point I am right now. I'm
Right.
managing people that manages Wipay.
Right.
But from day one, I was that first guy that understood going to sell, any business on the corner, why you need online payments.
Right.
And then I moved up from that bit to now saying, listen, corporations and state entities, why you need online payments.
Right.
And then I moved to that bit where I hired people to do what I was doing and I managed them. And now I moved on to that last bit. So the reason why I put that in there is I don't want you to skip steps. Don't start today and then think tomorrow you should be sitting in a chair, running a business. No, any part of Wipay that needs me to be in, I can be in. I can code, I can work in marketing, I can work in development, because I went through each of the processes, each of the stages to grow this business. And that's something that most entrepreneurs skip. You start off today and your business make $10 and you know what? I'm now a huge business. I want to go buy a BMW, and you sink your business because your profits, which you should have reinvested into your business to grow your business,
Put into liabilities.
Looking at it as your money.
Yeah.
If your company is totally separate from yourself, you have that as a separate entity, you get a salary from your company.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do from day one. Separate that bit, separate the stages, understand that you are working for your company and it's not your money. I think that's a lot of the things that entrepreneurs miss and don't understand.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I had a business family that taught me this from young, that every dollar that goes into that drawer is not yours.
Yeah.
I remember going into my dad's store. I'm like, dude, we have a bunch of money in the cash register. Why can't I go out and take like $10 and go buy some KFC? He's like, that's not our money. That's not my money.
Yeah.
That's the business money.
Yeah.
Right. And that bit that I just say, I really wanted to put that on everyone that's listening. So they understand, you start a business, and yes, you're the entrepreneur. Yes, you're the guy that's behind the product.
Yeah.
But the money that's coming in is not your money. That money is coming in to build your business. You need to put yourself as a worker or employee and assign a salary to yourself. So if the business this month make $10,000, what's your salary? $1,000. So guess what? $9,000 needs to go back into that business to reinvest, get more inventory. What the heck? What?
It's a quick video call.
Okay.
Don't worry, continue.
Right.
Get inventory.
This dude is Skyping someone in Singapore.
That sounds like Kyle.
This guy. So it's super important for entrepreneurs and self-employed and upstarts to understand the difference between what's the business money or what's the business revenue and your salary. Right?
That's a very good tip.
All that stuff you see with Wipay and investment from partnerships with Republic Bank and MasterCard. Aldwyn Wayne didn't get a penny. I got a salary.
Right.
Wipay is an entity on its own. That money is theirs. I'm just the guy that works for a salary. And as an entrepreneur, once you can separate the business's revenue from your salary, then that's a good look. That's how you're gonna make sure that you sustain your business.
You really get it.
You guys.
You get it.
Hey man.
That's you guys are getting some great tips tonight. We have over 120 people live right now tuning in. That's absolutely amazing, right? So you guys are getting some gems right now from Kyle and Aldwyn, right? Shout outs to the 120 people live tonight. We have one more question we want to get into before we wrap this up, right? Because Aldwyn has things to do, all right? Kyle has food to eat.
You people, man.
I know. So last one. This question comes in from Celise. And Celise asks, I have the social pay plugin to connect Shopify with Wipay. How will the new product be different? Because I know you said you're rolling out something on Monday. So how is what you're rolling out going to be different from what's already on the market?
Okay, so shout out to my boy Stefan. Wipay, like most platform is just a platform. Stefan Duncan, he built social pay on Wipay, which provides, a makeshift solution for Shopify. I think he's been doing a fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
But what we are doing with Wipay is rolling out a fully integrated solution. So when you come to Wipay, you can literally build a Shopify page from 5 or 6 templates that we have.
Right.
That's fully integrated.
Right.
So you make your inventory updates, your payment updates on Shopify.
Yeah.
The payment takes place on Shopify. It's registered on Shopify. You can see all your sales on Shopify. So unlike a lot of the hybrids that's currently available, we have a fully integrated solution with Shopify. So
perfect.
You could have a seamless.
And that's Monday.
Experience.
That's Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
but shout out to Stefan the same way. Yeah.
And on that note, Chef Made was built on Shopify as well. So.
Who processes your payments though? Who processes your payments?
Well, that's process.
Hey man. All right, that's.
So hey. So Aldwyn, let's wrap this up, man. I need you to let the public know. When can we expect Rebel? What's the final verdict on Rebel before we close out tonight?
So wish me luck. I'm gonna go to the regulators tomorrow. I'm gonna present Rebel, and I'm gonna ask them. Okay, I shouldn't be saying all this. So I'm gonna present it to the regulators, and hopefully tomorrow we have a timeline for the public. Right. From a development standpoint, Rebel has completed all its development. The app is ready. I think we shared it with you for a month or two ago.
You did.
And so it's ready. We have a card. Hey, Shannon, toss me a card on the desk, brother.
Oh, we gotta see the card too. We're gonna see the card too.
The card is already printed. Right now we gotta make sure that we comply. And to all you guys out there who's thinking about doing like a Wipay or comply with the regulators. Hey, Shannon, I'm not shot, man. Comply with the regulators. So we're complying with the regulators. So before we put the product out in the market, we gotta make sure that we are regulated and the regulators are approve our product.
Yeah.
So that's what we are. So stay tuned. From a development side, from a integration side, from a readiness standpoint, the product is ready.
Perfect.
We just got to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's with the regulators because they're the boss.
Perfect. All right. So Aldwyn and Kyle, any last words for our audience? We still have a good bit of people logged in. Any last words of inspiration, encouragement for the audience that you guys want to leave them with before we close?
That's like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. My closing words would be not last words. Last words sound like you're gonna kill me or something.
Closing comments. Closing remarks.
Any last words? Any closing?
Yeah, any closing comments?
So my closing comments would, for people that are thinking about starting a business, would be to just start. Would be the greatest value that you bring to the business is the idea and the plan and the understanding of how the business is going to be executed.
Right.
It costs you nothing to have that plan.
Right.
All it costs for that plan is your market research, your belief, your passion, things that don't cost money. And when you're able to have that unique perspective on the world, you're able to have that unique understanding on your customer acquisition, on the value you're driving in this world. You're going to be surprised at how much people are going to be running to give you money to do what you want to do. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
People wanted to give you money, Kyle?
I mean, I need to up
They're
my
giving
passion,
Kyle money.
so I need to up it a little bit. So I'm going to take my own advice. Wait, team. Straight up, little. Get that same outcome. But I really that's what I'm doing. And I believe it.
Once you believe it, it's true.
Exactly.
That coffee is the coffee is in the spot.
The coffee's hitting. Aldwyn, give us your closing remarks before we wrap up.
It's rebel.
Woo!
You seen it?
We can see it. We're getting that zoom. We're getting that zoom. We're getting that zoom. Woo! There it is. So you guys see that it is real. It is here.
I need you guys to make sure you send your blessing for me tomorrow so we can get this thing launched.
Listen, fingers crossed in the comments for this man tomorrow. We need this card. We need this system up and running.
But for real though, as Kyle said, what were you saying? I forgot.
Forget out. Be on your own point. Be on your
What
own.
was the question?
It's your closing remarks. I should have told him any last words.
Last words. Yeah. So
Not last words. Alright? This man Durant trying to kill you right through. Don't buy into that. No closing comments.
So my closing comments is this. No, but on the real.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of topics that we was gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
That Kevin and I discussed.
Yeah.
And we decided that we were gonna keep it really light. So we're definitely gonna do off TV, web only, uncensored episode with Karen and hopefully Kyle. We come back where we're gonna hit on some real issues that's affecting our community, issues that's affecting entrepreneurship, issues that are affecting us in terms of how we grow our business, investment, how we look at each other.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about that episode. Keron is going to let you guys know when it's going to be because it's going to be a web-only episode.
Yeah.
Because I guess it can be shown on Flow.
That one's gonna be just for us, man. So I'll make those details available because we're gonna go really deep into entrepreneurship and a lot of the things that are plaguing our communities. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So that's my final words. Look out for that. Web only episode where we dive deep into a lot of things that we can talk about today.
It gets real. And it won't be coffee. It won't be coffee older than the cup. It won't be coffee. That night it won't be coffee.
Man, we ain't drinking no damn coffee, man.
Again, I will let you know I'm having Folgers.
Man, we have no Folgers to Trinidad. When the last time when Eddie goes, she and see Folgers.
I definitely knew it.
Okay.
Next part.
So
Okay,
everybody, I want you guys to give Aldwyn and Kyle a round of applause for coming in. Kyle stormed the scene and came here and dropped some gems just for you guys. So in the comments, send some hand claps, some likes, some good blessings that everything goes well tomorrow. All right? Kyle came for the food.
Kyle came for food. And he came in here and he's like, what's all this lights?
And jumped on scene.
Yeah.
That's no worries, man. That's no worries. So, Aldwyn, Kyle, I want to thank you guys for both giving us your time, your energy, and your knowledge. Anytime I talk to you guys, it's always enlightening. So I'm just glad that you guys were able to share that with our audience tonight. So I want to thank you guys for coming out and giving us your time. All right? So, I hope you guys and gals that have tuned in, let's see how much people have left. We still have over 90 people on the live tonight that are still locked in. And it's been an hour and a half. We went half an hour over time, but I hope you guys got tremendous value. Anytime I talk to Aldwyn, anytime I talk to Kyle, it is always motivating for me, because when I see brothers like them in the space out here killing it, the only thing I want to do is put my blinders on and get to work. We have so much opportunities now more than ever in the digital space, and we just need to start unlearning a lot of the stuff that we have learned in the past and start taking advantage and learning of all the new opportunities that are present for us now. So with that being said, thank you for tuning into episode number 2, Wipay and Entrepreneurship with Aldwyn Wayne and Kyle Maloney. I want to give a special shout outs to Eastern Credit Union, Flow, and Buzz Media. And I will see you guys next week. And next week's episode, we're going to be featuring none other than the Caribbean Power Lunch host and the boss man behind the Come Festival, Kevin Valley. And we're going to be talking about getting started with podcasting. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish all of you a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week, Thursday, at 8 p.m.